This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and today I'm going to let you know that you will never get there. I know yesterday I was like, hey man, stick it in there, you're going to be great. Today I'm going to sort of not flip that on its head, because it's not in direct correlation to what I'm really getting at here, but you're just never going to get there. Now this is what's really important to understand, and I'm not saying, should I say, you're never going to get the job that you want. That's fine. You probably will get that. What I'm saying is that the happiness or the thing, the acceptance, the approval, the love, whatever it may be, the achievement or the dopamine hit or whatever you think it is that you're going to get from getting there, you're never going to get there if you can't be here. If you can't bring that into right now, it doesn't matter. Does not matter how hard you work, what you achieve, you will never get there, because we don't achieve things for the sake of achievement. There's a reward in it for us, and it's figuring out what the fuck that reward is, and if we can really drill down to what that is. And these are hard questions. I had someone ask me today, it's like, so is work I do with you, is it more counseling than coaching? It's like, no, it's coaching. It's just, I'm going to pull apart the frames that you've built that run your game, so I can figure out what the fuck makes you tick. And that's going to be emotional. That's going to be confronting. You're going to find some ugly sides of you. Well, not really. They're actually quite beautiful, but the way that we've actually shifted to view ourselves in society, or how we were brought up, made them appear ugly. They're not ugly. They're just not understood. And when we can understand that, then we allow ourselves to become integrated and let the chips fall where they may, and not hold on to this idea of how we're meant to be, and we start to rock up and show up in today's world as we are and who we are. And that's where the beauty is, because we're not pre-framing our existence. We're not shooting on ourselves, right? We're not sort of doing this whole process of, I'm meant to be this and I have to do that. It's like, nobody. No, if you have to do your way to getting there, you're never gonna fucking get there. Because if you aren't able to bring whatever it is that you want and need into right now, into here, and be with me right here, when you get there, you won't even fucking know it. When you get there, what you're going to say is, I'm still getting there. And hey, that process is going to help you achieve a lot. It's just going to be a shitty fucking life all the way through there, looking back and realizing you've never actually lived. And I have this continual conversation, there's this continual theme in my podcast where it's like, I'm all for drilling down and making sacrifices, or trade-offs, if you want to call it that. I think is a better sort of name for it, and really trying to make sure that you build a future and show people how to work for, not for things that are expedient, but for things that are long-term and last a long time. But the thing is that if we're living for there, then we never live. We're just existing for this place in the future that we were told is, it's like heaven, or it's like hell, or it's like you can't point to it. But it's like, what if we could bring heaven, whatever that fucking means to you, religious or not, into this moment today, in the way that you interact with the world, in the way that you think when you look in the mirror, in the way that you can relax in the middle of a traffic jam, in just letting yourself be here rather than afraid of what's over there and stopping you from being here. This is where the beauty is. There is no arrival. You don't just one day wake up, everyone's like, oh, you're here. Well done, you've arrived, and here's all your happiness and your approval, and you're finally worthy of your dad's fucking love or something, right? And people go, oh, does it always have to come back to that? I'm like, you tell me. You tell me what it is for you, and then go deeper, and then go deeper, and then go deeper, and you'll realize that we're just doing pretty much everything we want, pretty much on like 4 things, like survival, love, acceptance, that kind of thing. We can call it different things, but continually, when we get down to it, that's what it is. And it's just so surprising that we want to take things on superficial level, because we think things are It can't be as simple as survival. It can't be as simple as the patterns that I had growing up and now still affecting me. It's like, well, where the fuck did you think you got them from? You view the world in a particular way, and that's not the right way. That's just the way that you see the world. That's your map of reality. It's not reality. So what makes you think that that's right? What makes you think that your best case, worst case scenario programming is the right way to do it? What makes you think just because you're more logical thinking that the emotion is not involved and shouldn't be involved at all and it's ridiculous? What makes you think that because someone can't understand their own emotions and they think their feelings that they aren't trying to understand the situation from a logical standpoint and they've got good points? When we can actually really learn to integrate and take everyone's point of view, including our own, and see our shortfalls, right? Our personal shortcomings, the things that we rejected of ourselves. Sometimes it's emotion, sometimes it's patience, sometimes it could be self-love, like these things that constantly gets thrown in our like social media space, but there's just not enough depth to it. It's just like, look, right now, if you can understand this, you're currently living the good old days. Like, I know I come back to that quote a lot, but it's just the truth. You just don't get this time again. You don't get to be back here again. And so if you're so busy building a fucking retirement, what are you living? Don't just get a job. Don't just settle for a relationship. Don't just settle for mediocre. We don't get what we want. We get what we're willing to receive. We don't get what we want. We get what we're willing to receive. We get what we think we deserve, what we feel we deserve. When we understand that, we start to shift the way we treat ourselves because it shifts the way the world treats us. Fuck. You can't hate yourself and the world love you. The world's already loving you. It's your filter. The world can't be anything but love. It's our own filters that change that. It was weird. At the end of the course that I just finished up, I got a second half coming up in Sydney in a couple of weeks, but it was like, I just didn't care about anything. But it wasn't like this nihilistic frame of like, I just don't care about anyone or anything. It was like, it doesn't matter. If I'm constantly thinking of the future, I'm never living anyway. It's like somebody who goes, oh, this happened. It's like, cool, whatever, dude. But it was like this warmth and love within this connection of understanding that it just fucking is. When we stop letting go of how we think it's meant to be and learn to be with it, then that's when we truly become like adaptable. That's when we can become interdependent with reality, and that's how we get to live our life rather than constantly resisting the shit that's coming for us because we thought that something else was meant to be there. When we realize that what we asked for in life showed up as an opportunity that looked like work, when it showed up as a lesson that we need to learn, when we realized that we grew up in a shitty household and that we keep on having the same fucking relationships we were taught to have by our parents that no longer want to see each other. Like, we got to get better role models. We've got to go through this shit to realize what is it we really want. And the universe is going to keep testing you until you figure the fucking thing out. Otherwise, you're just going to keep running into the same problem. And this is where it answers the question of, why does this always happen to me? Do you really want the answer, or are you just saying that question so you can play the victim? Figure that shit out. Team, I'm done. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, it means a world to me. Big love. If you haven't already, then make sure you jump on Facebook and jump in the Mood Prep online group. I know I haven't been active in there this last 6 weeks. There is a video coming. I do apologize, but jump in there and find out what's been going on. I'd love to see you in there. Otherwise, if you're a PT coach, trainer, then definitely check out the Coaches Circle. I'd love to see you in there as well. I'm our team. As always, peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.